Hello everyone and welcome to Ann Arbor Inclusive. I'm Zach Damon. We have a wonderful show for you today as members from Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports. Jim Munson and Christina Miller join us in studio. How are you today, folks?
Great, thanks for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Well, let's jump right into it, shall we? So Jim, you're the founder and executive director of Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports, or co-founder, if you will. And I wanted to know, what was that aha moment when you and your co-founder said, this is a need, this is something that needs to be done here?
It goes back quite a way, Zach. I've been in a wheelchair for 31 years. I got hurt my senior year in high school, and skiing was something I loved to do as a young man, and thought I wouldn't be able to do that anymore. Then some other opportunities came along, and I learned how to ski and became an instructor. I moved back up here to Michigan, right near Mt Brighton, and just thought it would be a great place to get started, to get a program started and get more people involved.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And Christina Miller, you run the Scuba program over there, and I do have a question for you, and this might be a bit of a tough one, but if you could describe one moment that as a good memory for you in the program, what would that be?
There are many good memories with the Scuba program. We did just start this year. Didn't fully know what we were getting ourselves into with the program. It was the first go-around with here on Scuba, as well as with Mt Brighton. But we got people to the pool with a variety of disabilities, but most of them living in wheelchairs every day. And to be able to get them in the pool, get them free of their wheelchair, and experience buoyancy and life in the water, and to see the smiles on their faces and the enjoyment that they were having, that to me was incredible, indescribable.
That's wonderful, Christina. Thank you for what you do. And Jim, as the executive director of Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports, what are the goals for this coming year with that organization?
That's a lot. So we have a lot on our plate. The ski season's coming up, as we know. It'll be here. I hate to say that to people, but the snow will be here soon, and we're getting geared up for our ski season. We had a great summer with some fundraising activities that we did right at Mt Brighton. We were able to do some discovery dives with here on Scuba, and then also our tennis program right at the University of Michigan Tennis Center, not the Wheelchair Tennis Center, but that's what we've done.
No, that's great. Now, for both of you, I'm going to throw this question out in the air, and whoever wants to grab it can. But I'm a prospective parent, okay, of a young woman or man with a disability, and they're a bit unsure of why they should be involved with Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports. You know, it may be unsafe, they could get injured. What would you say to them? How would you get them involved?
So I deal a lot with the parents that are fearful and protective of their children. I'm a physical therapist, and I work in a rehab center. So I get the early experience with people, and the protective parent that now feels even more protective because their child has been injured. And what I'd have to say is, in order for them to really get back to life and experience what's out there, they need to not be fearful of their disability. And there's risk in everything that you do. We do things in a safe manner. We promote programs and people working with programs where the instructors are experienced, they know what they're doing, they're trained staff members. Our ski program happens at Mt Brighton because the instructors there are trained. That's what they do every day. So they're going to do it safely. We're going to ensure that they do it as safely as possible, but you gotta let them spread their wings. Absolutely.
And Jim, do you have to have a disability in order to participate in the adaptive sports program?
You really don't, and the way we've set it up with Mt Brighton right now is you can come in for a lesson, you know, for kids, an adult lesson, a kids lessons, an adapted lesson. And if you need some specialized equipment or attention, then we've got adapted instructors that are certified right there at the ski hill to be able to provide that opportunity for you.
That's wonderful. And Christina, with you working with the organization, in your opinion, what is one of the qualities that really separates Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports, say, from the rest of the adaptive sports programs in Michigan? I mean, if that is something that is done.
So we don't want to separate ourselves as far as the sport and recreation activities go. The disability community is very well connected in Michigan, and a lot of the people that participate in our programs participate in other programs. So that's not what we're looking to do, but I think what really sets us apart is that we are we're designing and working at growing our scholarship opportunities, so we can provide people with scholarships to offset costs of equipment. Our programs are designed to provide training at minimum expense to the participants, but there's a lot of equipment that's involved. If you think about skiing and your ski equipment, non-adaptive equipment's expensive. Adaptive equipment is even more expensive. Scuba is an expensive sport. Tennis can get expensive as well, especially if you need a special wheelchair to participate. So we want to help people offset those costs so that they can continue to participate and don't need us to do that, that they can go really anywhere to participate. So.
That's wonderful. And so, to both of you, how does one get involved with Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports? Do they go to a website, or do they look in the phone book? What is the best way for someone to get involved?
Yeah, the best way right now is really through our website, and then we also have a Facebook page as well. And hopefully all that information is going to be posted here at the end so people can copy that information down. But that's the best way. And then there's also a phone number right at Mt Brighton that people can call.
So our website, mountbrightonadaptivesports.com, does have a contact link. So there is a place where you can plug information in that will send an email directly to us. We also have information about all of our programs that are available. And we're also looking for volunteers to participate and to help, because our program is run by volunteers. So we need people to help out at the ski hill. We need people to help out at the tennis center. So anybody that might be interested and has special skills in anything that could lend a hand, we're always looking for volunteers.
I mean, volunteering, how rewarding does this program feel to both of you, to know that you're involved with something like this, that not only impacts you directly, but then contributes to something much larger?
I look back at my personal experiences and the fact that, some of the people that taught me how to ski 25 years ago are still very close people to me in my life. And, I was out in Lake Tahoe, and one of the instructors is an instructor out there, and I skied with him last December. And it's been a community that I've grown up with, and they're just very close people to me. And hopefully we can have some of those types of memories made at Mt Brighton and develop these skills so they can take it to Breckenridge and Vail and Lake Tahoe and learn at Mt Brighton, but then be able to explore the rest of the world with these skills that they've developed. So.
That's wonderful. So it's not just a physical asset, but it's an emotional and asset as well.
And we see that with our volunteers, and I've heard that from several volunteers that have come out, been involved with the program, and they get back from it more, sometimes more than the participants themselves do. So yeah, I'd encourage anybody that would want to come out and volunteer and be involved.
Definitely, that's wonderful. So the other thing I wanted to ask you, Christina, is what is involved with the scuba program? Do you have to know how to swim? Because it's in water, right? You're in deep water. What if one of these volunteers or one of the applicants says, I've never swam before in my life. I don't know if I can do this.
One of the things I always encourage people to do is, if they think they might be interested at all, come and check it out. So we offer a Discover Scuba program. Here on Scuba offers Discover Scuba. Through our organization, we're setting up opportunities for people to come out to the pool, get in some scuba gear, and get in the pool and feel it out. So you don't have to know how to swim. That's what the gear's there for. And we have hands to help. We can modify just about anything based on people's abilities. So if people have specific questions, they can contact me, they can contact us through the website. But I would encourage them just to come and try it out.
Wonderful. And then, Jim, you're involved with the golf program. Now, when I heard that, I was a bit perplexed. I go, my goodness, golfing, because you see how much movement is involved in golf. Right. So could you describe the adaptive sports golf program?
It's something that we haven't really dove into as much as we'd like to. Mt Brighton actually has a golf course on site, so it's something that we're moving forward with, but it's something that we don't have a ton of experience in it yet. What we've found is that as the population gets older, they still want to get out there and golf, and if we can give them some skills and some tools to continue to do that, then we're going to do so. But I'd almost have to defer to some other organizations that are doing golf right now. We did a fundraiser for the adapted sports, and it was a golf outing, and we had some great guys there that were in stand-up chairs that were hitting from their chairs. We had a single amputee that was able to swing his club and hit it straight and true. So
That's wonderful. Now, do you have this golf outing every year?
it will be an annual event. Yeah, this was actually our second year of doing it. This year the first year we went from 10 people. This year we had over 65 people that came out and helped support the cause this year. So that was good.
No, that is a great increase. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, from one year to the next. Wow. So now that you guys have sort of established the program, it's been around for a while now. So have you guys seen an increase in interest in how many people are getting involved?
For the skiing program, for sure, there's been a tremendous amount of interest. Some of our holdback last year was just not having enough equipment. We were able to raise some funds, and just so people know, like an adaptive sit-down piece of equipment is anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 just for that single piece of equipment. So this year we were able to raise some funds, and we've purchased 4 new pieces of equipment, and it's going to make it a lot easier to get more people out on the hill and get them involved. So we're excited about that this year.
That's great. I mean, my goodness, you guys are just doing so much.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Well, both of you, if you could, just take a moment and try and grasp this question as well, because I really would like you guys to really just tell the viewers here, what is something that you want the viewers to know about Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports? Why is it important? Why is it a good program? Why should someone or someone's son or daughter invest their time in this program? And what are, again, the overall benefits that you've seen personally or from others that have given you testimonials?
Right. Well, Christine, I'll just start briefly.
Yeah,
I think that the biggest thing that we're trying to make happen and let people understand is that they can develop these skills and then have them for a lifetime. You know, they don't have to come just to Mt Brighton to ski. We can teach them how to ski, and they can take it around the world. We can teach them how to go scuba diving, get them certified, and they can take that certification and be able to do it on an island in the beautiful part of the world, or dive in Lake Michigan, wherever they want to go. These are skills that they can develop and be able to continue on and use them for a lifetime.
And not everyone is able to participate in these activities independently. So some people need a helper, and we help train family members or friends to be that helper. So like Jim said, we don't have to be there. You don't always have to come to us to participate in these programs. There are other programs out there that are doing skiing, and they may have a clinic or 2 every season, and they do get a lot of the same people coming back, and I think that that's important, and that's important exposure for people. But to be able to come and to get that training, and like we said before, you're getting the training from people that are trained specifically to work with individuals with disabilities and tailor the sport to them. They're the experts in skiing. They're the experts in scuba diving. They're the experts in tennis. That's what we want people to have experience with. We want people to be able to go places where anyone else can go, but have access and adaptation to be able to participate. So,
and I think the other, just another quick point would be the fact that the program is available all the time now at Mt Brighton. So if a group of kids are coming out with their high school to go skiing, and maybe somebody has a disability, they don't have to stay home now. They can come and ski with their friends on Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whenever their ski group comes to the ski hill. And that's something that we wanted to make available at Mt Brighton too. So it is more of an inclusive type environment, so people don't have to do on a special day. They can come with the rest of the group.
That's wonderful. Now, I mentioned that Jim, of course, is the co-founder of the program, but Christina, how did you get involved?
So I'm a physical therapist. Like I said before, I work on a rehab unit primarily with people with spinal cord injuries. And I see the initial change after an injury and help teach people the skills that they need to be able to go home, the daily skills that they need to be able to get up every morning, be able to get around, hopefully go back to work or get into work if they're younger individuals, get back to school. And I've always been intrigued by adaptive sports and people's ability to get right back into things. And sometimes people participate in sports that they didn't participate in before their injury. And I wanted to be able to get into that aspect of healing, of rehabilitation. And I've been pushing my hospital to get involved. And there's a lot more involved in developing it at that organizational level. And Jim is actually one of our vendors in his everyday job. He comes into the hospital occasionally. And we had a side conversation about their ski program. And I was most motivated to get the Scuba program going because I dive it here on Scuba, and they were interested in doing this adaptive Scuba, and we were trying to figure out how to piece everything together. So it was actually through the marriage of those two programs that I got involved and probably pushed them to do more than they were ready to do with the program at the time, but have enjoyed every minute of it, and it's been growing quickly.
Again, a lifetime activity that somebody can enjoy forever and stay healthy and involved with the community. So it's been a win-win for everybody, I think.
Wonderful. So then here's a burning question for both of you. So, okay, you enjoy the scuba, and of course you teach the golf and things like that, but what is your favorite sports activity within Mount Brighton? Is it golf? Is it scuba? Because you and I talked before, and you were also a college wheelchair basketball player.
I was, yeah. I enjoyed my time playing wheelchair basketball, but my passion is the skiing. When I got hooked on skiing, got to the point where I could go out west and I could rip down the side of one of the Rocky Mountains or and do it all on my own, that hooked me. And I'm out of my chair, I'm free, I'm going 45 miles an hour down the side of a mountain is an incredible thrill. So I'd encourage anybody to try it.
Shred some powder, right?
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
Right. And then how about you, Christina? Your favorite activity of Mount Brighton?
It's definitely the Scuba program, I'm not going to lie. I have been out on the hill and I've helped with skiing, and I'm not a skier, I'm a snowboarder, which doesn't lend itself very well to helping people learn how to ski. So I ended up spending more time off my board and in my boots chasing people down the hill, which is fine with me. I had a blast. But I just love being involved with it and watching it grow. And we have several committees in developing some of the fundraising opportunities that we have been able to set up recently, and just getting more people involved with the development of the program and watching it grow has been a fun ride for me.
I was just going to say, one of our certified instructors at Mount Brighton, Kelly, she's great. She's been involved for the last several years. Her goal is to bring a young person into this program and develop their skiing abilities so that they can get to the Paralympic level. That's really her drive and her passion. And I just thought that was really interesting that is one of her goals. So we're looking for that next downhill racer that can be involved. So.
No, that's wonderful. So you hope this program can be sort of a catalyst for Paralympians.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful.
This is where I get early eyes on patients in the hospital, and I'm already eyeballing people to set them up for programs. Obviously, as soon as they get out of the hospital is not the best time to start these programs. We're looking at a year down the road in their injury, but I'm already setting them up and kind of pruning them for these activities and getting them excited about what they can do.
So on that, Christina, so do you go to hospitals and promote the program, or how does that work? How do you promote the program other than just sort of telling people and the fundraising events? Is there sort of that outreach within that rehabilitative community, or how does that work?
So I teach an educational class at the hospital for individuals with spinal cord injury, and one of the topics that we teach in the class is recreation. So during that class, I do bring up, along with other sports and more sports than we actually offer, we teach them about what's out there, and then anybody that wants my contact information, I provide it and provide them the information to Mount Brighton so they can stay connected to us. But we've also done a talk at Rehab Institute of Michigan. So they have a support group that's run once a week, and they invited us in to talk about the Scuba program. But you've been down there multiple times to talk about other activities as well.
Special Tree is another
oh, yeah.
local
Yep.
local area. So I'm actually, I do have a real job, and I work in the wheelchair industry. I'm a manufacturer's rep for a couple different, a power wheelchair company and a manual wheelchair company. So I work with a lot of individuals too, and I can kind of spread the word that way as much as possible. But really it's just been through word of mouth and opportunities like this that we can get the word out there that these opportunities are available.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, so you work in manufacturing chairs. Well, then I have a favor to ask. Because because I used the chair for long distances for many years, and I think you're onto something. Could you help me put some spinners on my chair?
There are
maybe just make it
They're out
jazzy.
there.
Make them.
Yes, they
there.
should. We should develop a new show and have that be the whole thing, right?
Bling, get a little bling going.
That's right.
Like
I
it.
mean, we've got to travel in style.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
but with that, you guys talk a lot about the activities, but it's also an important program because I wanted to get both of your opinions. How important is physical fitness within the disability community, and why is it important?
Yeah, and again, Christina can probably talk better to this, but for me personally, I've been able to stay active, and you're just so much healthier, less issues with skin irritation, and it's so much better to be in shape than it is to not be in shape, I guess.
We could sit here for a whole
Yeah.
show talking about the benefits of exercise, physical exercise, but years ago, not that long ago, 10, 15 years ago, people with disabilities, especially people with spinal cord injuries, had a lower life expectancy. Medicine has advanced and has helped with some of the concerns, most of which were respiratory related, but the life expectancy is the same if people are healthy. And if you think about spending your life in a wheelchair, you can get, for lack of a better term, you can get rather lazy and out of shape. So participating in a sport and staying active helps with that, obviously. And if there's a motivation because you enjoy it as well, then all the better.
And again, not even just the physical, but the mental aspect of it too. I know when I finally got back into sports and being involved with a team and going away to college and playing sports, it just changed my whole perspective on life. And it's like, I can do this. I can do whatever I want to do. And I think that sports and recreation really allows that feeling to come through when you accomplish something.
A body in motion stays in motion, right? That's very important, especially today. I'm a gamer. I game a little bit here and there, but there's always those overkills, right? Where they go, man, we should get out and do something. And I would say, yeah, let's go to Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports. Let's do some scuba diving. that would be great.
Yep.
Come on out.
So I want to know from you too as well, from the different perspectives that you guys have, but also working together. What are some things that you two personally want to highlight about your programs or about Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports as a whole?
I think the biggest thing is just we want to provide more opportunities. So if you want to be involved, contact us, and we can figure it out. Again, we've expanded to tennis and scuba. Skiing has been our main focus. Golf is coming soon. I know there's other opportunities out there that we might be able to explore too. So come to us with your ideas. We'd be happy to hear about it. So
That's wonderful. And my other question is, do you guys reach out to maybe disabled veterans? Is that I don't want to say a niche or a market that you're aiming for, but something around there? Are you open to veterans coming in? Are they allowed to come in and be a part of the program?
absolutely, absolutely. And the ski industry and the adaptive ski community in general has a very strong presence within the disabled veterans community. So if we can, again, give them the skills and learn here on our little ski hill at Mt Brighton, and they can take that out to the other opportunities in other places around the world, we're all for it. And again, with the disabled community, or with the veterans disabled community, PTSD is also a big factor. So you don't have to have a physical disability. You can get out there and get involved, and that makes a big difference too.
Now, do you have to have a disability to volunteer with Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports or be involved with Mt Brighton Adaptive Sports?
Absolutely not.
No.
Anybody and everybody is welcome. So.
Like I said before, anybody with any special skills or no special skills, they're all welcome. We're always looking for help with advertising. We're always looking for help with, hands-on volunteer assistance, with, running programs, with anything. with our fundraising opportunities, like I said, our committees are growing as far as helping out with that. Because we are completely volunteer run, we're only able to do so much. We all have real jobs.
Right.
Actually, every single one of us has a real job. So we're doing this in our spare time, which gets smaller and smaller. So we're open for as much help as we can get.
But the volunteers, too, are key to making this successful. And if we can get them in early, even if they don't ski, get them involved with volunteering, learning how to ski, and then maybe down the road, if it's something that they want to pursue, then they can become a certified instructor and help out in other roles.
And then is there a huge cost involved? Because I'm sure that there might be some out there that say, gee, I would love to get involved, but it's just too costly.
Yeah, not as a volunteer. We've got a strong relationship with Mount Brighton in volunteering. If you're willing to volunteer your time, we'll help offset those costs. The other thing that we're raising funds for is for the scholarships for our participants, because again, we're giving a lift ticket for the ski program, rental equipment, one-on-one instruction. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 instructors per person with a disability that's skiing with us. So there's a lot of cost affiliated with it, but we're able to offset that through our scholarship foundation and some of those programs.
Wonderful. Well, and one of the things, Jim and Christina, and go ahead,
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, depending on people's disabilities, if they're veterans, they can tap into some other resources as well. But depending on their disabilities, they may qualify for some additional scholarships that we're not offering, but that are being offered by other organizations, and we can help them go through those scholarship application processes too. We're willing to do that, help people with scholarships and grants so that they can get additional funding to help with those activities as well.
And it just reminds me of a story. I just got a call last week or maybe 2 weeks ago now, and a gentleman was filling out a scholarship or a grant opportunity, and he wanted to use those funds to come and ski with us this winter. So there are a lot of other opportunities out there.
Wonderful. Then that's great. And I mean, lastly, I wanted to touch on the fact that this program does have credibility. And you had mentioned to me that the skiing instructors, a lot of them are taught, the skiing students are taught by skiers with disabilities. Is that correct?
We do. We have a couple certified instructors on staff that have a physical disability. We've got other certified instructors that don't have a disability. The other thing, I guess, maybe we're talking a lot about the people with physical disabilities. The ski program, we're also working with cognitive disabled. So some of our Special Olympic kids come out on Monday nights, and we've been able to take them to the next level and get them to be better racers, and then they're competing at the state level and the national level, and they learn through our Mt Brighton Adaptive Ski program. So
wonderful.
So not just physical, but cognitive as well.
Wonderful. Wow, that's great. Well, that's all the time that we have today, folks. But I want to thank you so much for joining us and for watching Ann Arbor Inclusive. We hope you enjoyed the program. I want to thank Jim Munson and Christina Miller for joining me. And please tune in next month to Ann Arbor Inclusive to see who we have. Stay awesome, Ann Arbor.